Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be around 10 favorite brands that I am looking for right now. And I actually got this, I already have done a video like this, I think last year, early in the year, and someone recently left a comment asking if I could do an updated one. So here we are. So I'm sure every year resellers find new brands, brand value changes and sell-through rate changes over the course of time. So I think every year probably reevaluating some favorite brands is helpful. And these are all brands that I have sold at least twice. I think it's important to reflect on my own sales versus what other people are selling, because someone else might have great luck with a brand that I don't have great luck with. But hopefully it's helpful just to share with you some of the brands that I'm looking for, what they kind of range for in retail, what they kind of range for in resale value, and yeah, just dive into that. So if that sounds interesting, definitely feel free to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, all of that, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. So one important thing to note with this is style and condition does still matter most of the time, and I'll kind of disclose on each one what I think about each of those. But I do not pick up 100% of the items I find of these brands. Maybe it's marked up and it's a great value at a thrift store, but the resale of it wouldn't be too great, or much higher. So I think a lot of things still factor into how much it costs, how much I think it will sell for, and how quickly I think it will sell. I'm using data in these examples from Poshmark only just to keep things easy on me, but to still give you a good idea of how they've done for me. I will say, I think most of these brands I have sold on eBay as well. So I just think that they're some of my favorites at the moment. So anyways, all right. First one is a brand that I had never heard of and hadn't picked up until a couple months ago. And I have since picked it up 3 times. So I've listed it 3 times. I've sold 2 of them and they sold very quickly. So the first brand is Xirena. I'm not even sure if that's how you say it, but it's Xirena. So I was pleasantly surprised. It was an unusual tag a couple months ago on kind of a button down short sleeve top. And it looked a little worn, but I was like, this tag looks unusual. And sure enough, it is a desirable brand. It's a pretty expensive brand. So the retail on this, there are outliers, but I'm giving a range just to give you an idea, from that $100 to $300 price point for a lot of items. And the resale value on a lot of items that I've found, or the items I found and just kind of what I've seen, is between that $30 and $80 price point. So the first 2 I sold, one was a short sleeve button down, one was a long sleeve button down or button front. Sorry, they were not true button downs. And the only item I have listed right now is a pair of really, really thin, lightweight jogger pants. And I actually just got an offer, a really low offer on them this morning. I think I have them listed for $39 for the joggers, and someone gave me an $8 offer. So I just declined that one and moved on. But the brand itself is expensive. I've had decent luck. The joggers I've only had listed for a week or 2. So yeah, I'm excited about that brand. It's a very distinct label, so it's kind of clear when you find it. And I don't know if it's becoming more popular or what, but I want to find more of them. Second brand is Good American. And I'm sure if you follow anyone on Instagram or YouTube even, that maybe they've talked about this brand. This is a brand from Khloe Kardashian. It's sold, I think, directly on their own website, also in places like Nordstrom and whatnot. I've listed 2, I've sold 2, and they both sold very quickly within about a week. The retail value is between that $75 to $200 range for most items. And they basically just make good quality jeans for all sizes. Style plays a factor. So some of their styles are more expensive and have just more demand resold. But the resale value is between that $30 to $100 mark. And I know the couple that I sold were right around that $50 mark. So definitely something I would pick up and not hesitate, even for most styles. I think sizing, because they're kind of all inclusive or mostly inclusive, I think it's just great to find the brand. The third brand is a workout brand or athletic brand called Girlfriend Collective. I forgot to put how many I listed. I think I've listed 3 because I just recently listed a third, and I've sold 2. So the one that I just recently listed a couple days ago was another pair of leggings that I found that were identical to one that I had sold. The retail of this brand is between that $30 to $100 average, depends on if it's a sport bra versus a pair of leggings and that type of stuff. So the resale value is between that $20 to $50 range. I know that the very first item I picked up of this was kind of it was like a crop sleeveless top, fitted top, and that sold for about $20. And the pair of leggings I sold was right around that, I think $40 range, maybe $35. So it's not as high of a resale value, but both of those items sold very quickly. And I already have some interest on the one I recently listed. So I think it's just a supply and demand thing. There's just not as many. I think it's a growing brand. So I will definitely keep an eye out for that one. The fourth brand that I'm looking for and excited to find more of is Birkenstock. So I've listed 5 and sold 4. I currently have one in my loft that's my size and I'm tempted to actually keep it. But the retail of Birkenstock, it depends on the style and what it's made out of. There's some plastic Birkenstocks that I think are $40 to $50 retail. And then there are the kind of classic leather Birkenstocks that are more in that $100 to $150 range. So 50 to 150 is the retail range. The resale range is between about 20 to 100. So again, if it's that plastic, more affordable, it's going to obviously bring in less. But if it's the nice quality leather, the ones that I've had the most luck with are the Arizona style. So it's the one that just has the 2 straps. Although a lot of them, yeah, I'd probably pick up most if they were in good condition. And this is something that people, have a hard time with because they do show condition pretty quickly, like footprints. But they still do sell. So you might not be able to bring in a high dollar amount, a high return if they have a lot of wear to them. But some people, if you buy them at the bins and they still have some wear, might still buy them. So it's definitely a brand that I would like to pick up more of. The next brand, I don't even know what number we're on as per usual, but Alo Yoga. So this is a brand I see a lot of where they have those articles on, Cosmo and stuff like that. Where it shows what celebrities are wearing, and Alo Yoga tends to be a popular one or a favorite. And I've listed 5 and I've sold 5 Alo Yoga items. I will say 3 of those were bags, and I found like 3 tote bags, maybe even 4. So I haven't found that much actual Alo Yoga things to wear, but I have had good luck. The retail of it is about $50 to $125 for most items, and the resale value is between that $20 to $75, just depending on the condition and the style. But yeah, I did find it recently, and it was a pair of kind of not great condition, boot cut, looked a little dated, and I left those behind because even though I'd like the brand, those factors still do play a part. And but I'm excited to find it when I do. The next brand is Patricia Nash. So I've listed 3 and I've sold 3, and the retail value for most items is between $100 and $400. There are some outliers, like some wallets and, things like that. But the resale value is between the $30 to $200. So for me, I've sold a few. I think most of them that I've sold is right around that $50 mark. I think there was a bag that I sold closer to $100. But they've sold pretty quickly for me, and they're very distinct styles. So before you even see the label, you can kind of tell it's a Patricia Nash. They sell this brand at places like department stores, I think directly, and it just has, I think, a very strong following of people and just kind of a very well-made, unique styles, and I think people like them. So definitely a brand I would pick up again. UNTUCKIt. This is probably the only men's only brand on my list. But, and of course I forgot to write the retail and resale value. So I'm just going to have to guesstimate. I don't know how I missed that one, but we're going to move on. So UNTUCKIt is a kind of known for their button front shirts that you don't have to tuck in, that are kind of designed to not be kind of the angled, but more of a, Anyways, so kind of a casual button front shirt for men. I don't know if they make anything else. I didn't do any research on this one, but that's really all I found. Sometimes they have stripes and prints. Sometimes they just have solids and whatnot. But I've listed 3 and I've sold 3. And the retail value, I want to say it's somewhere between that 75 to 100 mark. And the resale value for me has been kind of that strong 25 to 40 range, depending on the size and the style. But I think it used to at one point have a stronger resale value, and then more people started figuring out what it was. But still, if I can pick it up for a few dollars and sell it for a consistent 25 to 40, for me, that's a really great deal. And it's sold well for me just with the few that I've picked up. The next one is Everlane. So I'm this one's kind of, I think people get excited about finding this, and I definitely know I have gotten excited. I've listed 14 and I've sold 12. Again, these numbers are only from Poshmark data, so I think I've sold some more on all of these on eBay as well. But the retail value, I remember the first time I picked up a couple of tees, like short sleeve t-shirts from Everlane, and I was still super new, and I was like, yes, Everlane, everyone loves talking about this. And then I tried to sell them, and I was like, oh man, I'm only getting like $10 for these. You can buy a basic tee from Everlane. Some of their styles are as low as $20. So it's not everything from this brand. So the retail value on that low end for those basic tees is possibly as low as $20, but some of their stuff goes up to, you know, over $200. So I know I found an Everlane bomber jacket one time that sold close to 100. I can't remember what I sold it for. And their bags, they have some really great leather bags, and those tend to sell. Those I think are retail around 235 or something around there. So those have a really strong resale value. So this is a brand that it's fun to find, but just know what you're getting into. Look up the style, because if you're going to pay up for something, if it's a bomber jacket or a leather bag, might be worth it. If it's a t-shirt, might not be worth it. But that's just been my experience. It's still a brand that is sought after, and yeah, so I'm still excited to find it. And the resale for it ranges from that 10 to 100, you know, on average. The next brand, second to last, is Aritzia. Now, the most common Aritzia brand I have found is Wilfred or Wilfred Free. To note, this is a Canadian company, and Wilfred is not the only brand. Babaton is one. I found a couple of them where I look it up and then I find out that it's actually sold at Aritzia. So this is a Canadian company. They do sell online to US and international as well. I have had some really great luck with some of their jackets, kind of fleece jackets, I can't remember, that sold close to $100 resold. Their retail range is between that 50 to 200, and a lot of them are that 100 to 200. And the resale value is around that 20 to 100, just depending on the, you know, again, with many things, if it's a basic t-shirt, it probably won't get much. But I have sold a basic t-shirt, and I think for about $15 from Wilfred, and it sold pretty quickly on eBay. So yeah, it's a brand I'm looking out for. Again, it doesn't say Aritzia on the brand, but you can go to their site, Aritzia, and look at their different brands. And Wilfred is one of the most common that I've personally found, along with Babaton, but I think there are more. And then the last brand, this is going to come as no surprise, and this might be one of the few that was on it last year. I'm not sure if any of these other ones were on it last year, but I know this one was, which is Burberry. I've listed 12. I've sold 10 on Poshmark. The retail for Burberry, I mean, if you're just going for boxers, might be as low as 75 retail. But the majority of items for Burberry are between that 500 to 2,000 range. They have, I mean, it's a classic. So the resale value really depends on condition. I've sold some really banged up Burberry slides that sold for about $20, and I got them at the bins, and you know, they sold pretty quickly. And they go, you know, resale value goes up to 500, if not more, depending on if it's like a trench coat or something like that. So Burberry is one of the few brands I would pick up despite condition, meaning if I can get it cheap enough, even if it's kind of banged up, I will still pick it up, usually 95% of the time. So anyways, those are my brands that are my favorites at the moment. I have lots of new brands to discover as I'm outsourcing, and I think the most important thing for me is to continue to find new brands. And when I do, I'll definitely share. And if you like this video and my little update, my favorites, hit the thumbs up. I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.